My wife smirked. "You're lucky I chose you. Most men would do anything for me." I replied calmly, "I know. That's why I recognized the pattern." Her smile froze when she realized I wasn't guessing, I was confirming. I'm 32, been married for 5 years, together for 7 total. I work in data analysis, which probably explains why I'm good at spotting patterns. It's literally my job to find connections that other people miss, to see trends in numbers and behavior that tell a bigger story. I never thought I'd be using those skills on my own marriage. My wife has always been attractive. I'm not being modest or humble. She genuinely turns heads when we walk into a room. She knows it too. In the beginning, I found her confidence appealing. She knew what she wanted, she went after it, and she chose me. That felt good. That felt like winning something. But about 2 years into our marriage, I started noticing things. Small comments here and there about how other men looked at her. How her coworkers always offered to help her with projects. How the barista always gave her free upgrades. She'd say these things with this little smile, like she was sharing a secret. At first I'd laugh it off. Then I started to feel uneasy. The comment that broke everything happened 3 weeks ago on a Saturday night. We were getting ready to go out to dinner with friends, and she was taking forever to get ready like always. I was sitting on the bed, scrolling through my phone, when she came out of the bathroom in her dress. "How do I look?" she asked, doing a little turn. "Beautiful. You always do." She smiled at herself in the mirror, adjusting her necklace. "I know. You're lucky I chose you, you know. Most men would do anything for me." She said it casually, like she was commenting on the weather. But something in her tone made my stomach drop. It wasn't playful. It was matter of fact. It was a statement of power. I looked up from my phone. "I know. That's why I recognized the pattern." Her smile froze. She turned to look at me. "What pattern?" "The pattern of men doing things for you. Helping you. Being available. The pattern that's been happening for the last 1.5 years." She laughed, but it sounded forced. "What are you talking about?" I stood up and walked to my desk. I opened my laptop and pulled up a folder I'd been quietly building for 3 months. Spreadsheets. Screenshots. Timelines. Everything organized the way I organize data at work. I'm talking about your coworker who always texts you after hours. The one who helped you with that presentation at 10 at night when I was out of town. I'm talking about your gym trainer who gives you private sessions for free. Your old college friend who suddenly reappeared 6 months ago and keeps inviting you to lunch. The guy who fixed your car and refused payment. Should I keep going? Her face had gone completely pale. "You're being paranoid. Those are just friends. People being nice." I might have thought that too, but then I noticed the pattern in your behavior. You text differently with them. You angle your phone away when messages come in. You've started working late more often, but only on days when certain people are in the office. You've joined a gym that's 30 minutes from our house when there's one 5 minutes away. You volunteered to organize the reunion specifically after your college friend reached out. You've been tracking me. I've been paying attention. There's a difference. And the more I paid attention, the more I saw the same behavior repeating with different men. The flirting. The availability. The little favors that turn into bigger expectations. You're running the same play over and over. She tried to recover, crossing her arms. This is insane. I'm friendly with people. That's not a crime. You're right. Being friendly isn't a crime. But emotional affairs are real. And based on the pattern, you're running at least 3 of them simultaneously. That's not what's happening. I turned the laptop toward her. On the screen was a timeline I'd built. Every late night text. Every unexplained absence. Every time she'd dressed up for a casual errand. Every time she'd mentioned one of these men unprompted, which happened more than she realized. "This is your coworker," I said, pointing to one column. "You've texted him 247 times in the last month. 89 of those were after 9 p.m. You've had lunch with him 11 times. You've stayed late at the office 7 times when he was also there. We work together. We have projects. This is your gym trainer. You've gone to the gym 19 times in the last month. 15 of those sessions ran over by at least 30 minutes. You've bought him coffee 4 times. You posted a photo of you two together on your story last week and deleted it within 2 hours. I delete posts all the time. This is your college friend. You've met him for lunch 6 times in 2 months. You didn't mention 3 of those meetings to me. You got your hair done before the last 2. When I asked about your day after the most recent lunch, you said you'd been running errands. She was quiet now, just staring at the screen. And here's the interesting part. I continued. Each of these men follows the same pattern. They start as acquaintances or people from your past. Then you start texting more frequently. Then you manufacture reasons to see them in person. Then you start sharing personal information with them, complaints about our marriage, things you won't say to me directly. Then you start dressing up for them. Then you start lying about seeing them. I haven't done anything wrong. You haven't slept with any of them. I'll give you that. But you're keeping them orbiting around you, giving each one just enough attention to keep them interested, using them for validation and emotional support that you should be getting from your husband. And the moment one of them wants more or loses interest, you'll drop them and find a replacement. That's the pattern. Update 1. She didn't say anything for a long time. Just stood there looking at the spreadsheet like it was written in a foreign language. Finally, she sat down on the edge of the bed. When did you become this person? She asked quietly. What person? Someone who stalks his wife. Who builds spreadsheets like I'm a suspect. I became this person when my wife started treating our marriage like a backup plan while she collected options. When did you become someone who needs constant validation from other men? I don't need it. Then why do you do it? Why do you need 3 different men giving you attention at all times? What's missing that you have to get it from them? She looked up at me, and for the first time in months, I saw something real in her face. Vulnerability, maybe. Or fear that she'd been caught. I don't know, she admitted. I don't know why I do it. It just feels good to be wanted. To know that I could have other options if I wanted them. So I'm an option. Our marriage is just your current selection while you keep shopping. That's not what I mean. That's exactly what you mean. That comment you made tonight about being lucky you chose me. That wasn't a compliment. That was a reminder. A power move. You were reminding me that you have other men lined up. That I should be grateful you're still here. She started crying then. Not the manipulative kind of crying, but the kind that happens when someone's been holding something in for too long. I think I need therapy, she said. I think something is broken in me. I think you're right. But I also think you need to decide if you want to fix it within this marriage or outside of it. What does that mean? It means I'm not going to be your safety net while you keep collecting admirers. It means if you want to stay married, all of this stops. Today, you block every single one of these men. You find a therapist. You commit to rebuilding what you've damaged. Or we end this now and you can do whatever you want with whoever you want. You'd really leave me over this. You didn't cheat physically, but you've been emotionally unavailable for over a year. You've been investing energy into other men that should have been invested in us. You've been lying by omission almost daily. So yeah, I'd really leave you over this. Because this isn't a marriage anymore. It's me sitting at home while you collect validation from other people. Update 2. We didn't go to dinner that night. She called our friends and said we weren't feeling well. She spent the next hour going through her phone and I watched as she blocked each person I'd mentioned. Her coworker. Her trainer. Her college friend. 2 other guys I hadn't even known about until she started scrolling through her messages. There are more. I asked. Not more. Just people I'd been texting with. Nothing serious. Nothing serious yet. She nodded, accepting that. The next day, Sunday, she started researching therapists. By Monday afternoon, she'd booked an appointment for Wednesday. Tuesday evening, she sat me down and asked if I'd consider couples therapy too. I need to fix myself first, she said. But I also need us to figure out how we got here. Because I don't think this is all on me. You're right. It's not all on you. I've been so focused on work, on being stable and reliable, that I stopped being interesting. I stopped pursuing you. I took for granted that you'd always be here. That doesn't excuse what I did. No, it doesn't. But it explains part of it. We both stopped trying. Her first therapy session was Wednesday at 4. She came home 2 hours later looking exhausted. She told me the therapist had used words like validation-seeking behavior, and fear of abandonment, and need for external worth. She said it was going to be a long process. How long? I asked. Months. Maybe longer. She wants to see me twice a week initially. And couples therapy. She suggested we wait a month. Let me work through some of my individual issues first, so I'm not bringing them into our sessions. I agreed to wait. The next few weeks were strange. She was home more. She wasn't on her phone constantly. She started asking about my day, and actually listening to the answers. She'd come home from therapy sessions and share what she was learning about herself, about why she needed so much attention, about patterns from her childhood that had carried into adulthood. But I was also watching. Waiting to see if this was real change or temporary performance. Waiting to see if she'd find new men to replace the old ones. Different ways to feed the same need. Update 3. About 6 weeks after the confrontation, something happened that tested everything. She came home from therapy looking upset, sat down at the kitchen table, and said we needed to talk. One of them reached out. My stomach dropped. Which one? The coworker. He's been texting me from a different number. He said he missed talking to me. That he didn't understand why I'd blocked him. He asked if I was okay. What did you say? I haven't responded yet. I wanted to tell you first. To show you I'm not hiding things anymore. Do you want to respond? She was quiet for a moment. Part of me does. Part of me misses the attention. The feeling of being wanted like that. But a bigger part of me knows that responding would destroy everything we're trying to rebuild. So I'm going to block this number too. And I'm going to tell my therapist tomorrow so she can help me work through why I even feel tempted. She showed me the messages right there. 3 texts over the course of the afternoon. Each one progressively more concerned. She blocked the number in front of me. I'm proud of you, I said. Don't be proud yet. I'm still fighting the urge to unblock him. To see if there are more messages. To respond just once to explain why I disappeared. My therapist calls it breadcrumbing. Giving just enough to keep someone interested. I've been doing it my whole adult life without realizing it. What changed? You showing me the pattern. Seeing it all laid out like data. I couldn't deny it anymore. And I realized if I kept doing it, I'd eventually lose you. And as much as I love the attention from other men, I love you more. I just forgot that for a while. We started couples therapy 2 weeks later. Our therapist was direct. Didn't let either of us hide behind excuses. She made us talk about things we'd been avoiding for years. My fear of not being enough. Her need to feel desired by everyone. The way we'd both stopped being vulnerable with each other. It wasn't easy. Some sessions ended with both of us angry. Some ended with both of us crying. But we kept going back. Final update. It's been 4 months since the spreadsheet conversation. We're still married. Still in therapy. Both individual and couples. She's still working on herself. And I'm working on myself too. She deleted most of her social media. Not because I asked her to. But because her therapist helped her see how much she was using it for validation. She kept one account but rarely posts. When she does, they're usually photos of us together. I've learned to be more present. To pursue her the way I did when we first met. To tell her she's beautiful not just because she looks good. But because I genuinely see her. To create the kind of connection that makes external validation less appealing. The men who used to orbit around her have mostly moved on. Her coworker stopped trying after she had HR transfer her to a different department. Her gym trainer found other clients. Her college friend sent a passive-aggressive message about her being different now and then unfollowed her everywhere. She doesn't miss them. Or if she does, she doesn't tell me. She tells her therapist instead, which is where those feelings belong. We're not fixed. We're not even close to perfect. But we're honest now in a way we weren't before. And that honesty, as uncomfortable as it is sometimes, feels more solid than anything we built in the first 5 years of our marriage. Last week, we were getting ready for a date night. And she came out of the bathroom in a new dress. She did the same little turn she'd done 4 months earlier. "How do I look?" she asked. "Beautiful. You always do." She smiled. But this time it was different. Softer. More genuine. "I'm lucky you stayed," she said. "Most people wouldn't have given me the chance to fix this. I almost didn't. I know. That's why I'm not taking it for granted anymore. The spreadsheet is still on my laptop. I haven't deleted it. Not because I'm checking up on her, but because it reminds me to pay attention. To notice patterns. To not get complacent. To remember that relationships require constant data analysis. In a sense, you have to keep tracking what's working and what's failing. You have to adjust when the numbers stop adding up. And right now, for the first time in years, the numbers are adding up to something that feels like it might last. A lot of people are asking if I regret staying with her instead of leaving. Honestly, some days I do. Some days I wonder if I'm just delaying the inevitable. But most days, I see someone actively fighting her own worst instincts. Someone choosing me every single day instead of just having chosen me once years ago. That's worth something. Whether it's worth everything remains to be seen. Edit 2. For those calling the spreadsheet controlling or creepy, I hear you. But I'd argue that secretly maintaining emotional relationships with multiple men while married is significantly more problematic than documenting concerning patterns in your spouse's behavior. I didn't hire a private investigator or install spyware. I just paid attention and organized what I was already seeing. If that makes me controlling, so be it.